The old man's medicine. They say some truths arrive softly, but this one crashed into the small village clinic like a thunderclap. The old man sat on the examination table, his back curved like a weathered question mark, his breath thin as rice paper. His name was Elder Jinhai, a man who had spent his entire life healing others with herbs and kindness. But now, time itself had turned against him. The doctor, young enough to still believe answers were simple, pulled off his spectacles and sighed. Elder Jinhai, your illness isn't from hardship or food or weather. It's age. Your body is simply old. The room went still. Even the lantern flame seemed to hesitate. For a moment, the old man didn't speak. His eyes, fogged with years and memory, drifted toward the window where children ran through dust and sunlight, laughing without knowing how rare good health could be. Then, slowly, deliberately, he said, So, if I became young again, would I be cured? The doctor blinked. He wasn't expecting humor. Not here, not now. Well, yes, if you were young again, you wouldn't have this ailment. But the old man didn't smile. He leaned forward, and for the first time his voice carried not frailty, but fire. Then give me that medicine. The doctor froze. Something about the old man's tone, steady, urgent, almost pleading, cut straight through all his training, all his certainty. Elder, I can't make you young. Nobody can. But Jinhai shook his head, eyes sharpening. Boy, listen to me. When people come to you, they don't want long explanations. They want hope. Even if it's as small as a grain of rice. They want to believe there's something they can do. The doctor swallowed. Hope can't change age. Hope, Jinhai murmured, can change hearts. He lifted a trembling hand to his chest. And sometimes, that's enough. The doctor sat back. For the first time in his early career, he felt the weight of his limitations pressing down on him. It wasn't the illness he couldn't cure. It was the truth that his patient asked him to fight anyway. Outside, the children's laughter grew louder. Inside, the silence grew deeper. Then the doctor straightened, walked to his cabinet and began mixing herbs. Ginger for warmth, ginseng for strength, licorice for sweetness. He crafted a blend that wouldn't turn back time, wouldn't restore youth, wouldn't overturn the laws of nature, but it would ease pain, it would help breathing, and most importantly, it would give the old man something to believe in. He returned and placed the steaming bowl into Jinhai's hands. This won't make you young, he said softly, but it will help you feel like life still has room for you in it. The old man smiled, finally, wrinkles folding like pages in a well-read book. That, he whispered, is the medicine I was asking for. He sipped slowly, savoring each warm breath, and for a moment, he didn't feel old. Not cured, but comforted, and perhaps that mattered more. As he stood to leave, leaning on his cane, he paused at the doorway. Young doctor, remember this. Not every illness can be cured, but every person can be cared for. And with that, Elder Jinhai stepped into the fading afternoon light, moving not youthfully, but purposefully, carrying a little warmth, a little hope, and a reminder that sometimes healing is less about changing the body and more about touching the heart. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.